here at One World Studios in New York City. We're going to talk to Salaam Remi for All Hip Hop. What's going on, brother? How you doing?
Great to meet you. Been reading it for years.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Seen you in person, so
We follow each other on social. I think you followed me. I was like, oh shoot. I was hyped.
Paying attention. I gotta find out what's going on.
Right. No doubt. So, first of all, you don't even stay in the city anymore.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be back here in the city?
It's dope. I mean, I live for New York summers, so
Yeah.
I wait till it's nice out. I'll be looking like the weather pump faking. Me too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'll book a ticket, cancel it, and then when it really get nice. So today, I think it's probably one of the hottest days of the year so far.
Yeah.
I'm outside.
Right.
I'm outside for the summer.
But you live in, Miami.
I live in Miami. It's a New York summer all year.
Right. Exactly.
So we work with that.
That's what's up. We're glad to have you back, man. Definitely one of my favorite producers. So let's get right into it. Like, you have several projects. Like, you never stop working, I assume.
I slow down, but at the same time, my ideas always flow.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I love when back in the days, Lost Professor had a line where he said, save the bass line for a beat. So if I got an idea and it ain't time yet, I hold it till the right time.
Okay. So doing it for the culture too, like that was thrown out there to me. I'm like, okay, we're gonna talk about this project. Then I read a little further. Then you got stuff with Bodega Bands, and then I saw a little more Joel Ortiz, and then
So basically, what happened was when I did in 2016, I put out a project I called "Do It for the Culture" too. It was 50 songs. It was albums by the Champagne Flutes, No Ponte, which was Bodega Bands, Nitty Scott, and Joel Ortiz. Sex All Summer was myself and CJ Hilton. But out of that also came Come Through and Chill by Miguel. So with Come Through and Chill by Miguel, it actually took a long time where it built up on its own. Then it was on Miguel's album, it was a single and everything else. And I was kind of like, you know what, rather than putting out one song at a time, or rather than putting 50 songs at a time, let me just put out a couple things and then put them out like 5-song EPs.
Right. So
each song gets a chance to marinate and people get a chance to see it. Because I don't want anything to be looked over. I really want to get it look. So I started last year with Black Thought Strange Thought 2. He had the same concept I had. I was like, I'm going to get with people and do an EP. And then he was like, I'm going to get with one producer and do it. So the first one he put out was with Ninth. And then ours was actually already done, and then he put out the one that we had. So that was the first one where, I was just in the lab, all instruments banging. Somebody comes by for a couple of days, we record, and we see what we got. In his case, we came up with 9 joints. I mean, I'm kind of short of verses, but it was a cohesive project itself. So that came out like around Thanksgiving time. Then Valentine's Day, I put out Nas and Amy Winehouse, Find My Love. Then a couple of weeks later, I put out a song with Gallant called Roll the Dice, which is another jam that I have with him. I just have music that I love, and sometimes it doesn't come out through all the labels or time or whatever they have on their personal projects. So I was like, we're gonna do that. Then myself and James Fauntleroy put out a song called Sex High, so that was dope. In between that, I had scored the documentary The Grass is Greener for Fab Five Freddy, and that came out on 4/20. So in the score, I actually did a lot of original music, and at the last minute, like a week before, Netflix was like, yo, okay, we'll give you the soundtrack rights, but I don't know if you can make it. And I was like, well, really, y'all just gonna throw me the alley-oop late, like after the
Right.
But they didn't know, I was gonna get it done, so I actually pulled together a soundtrack really quickly, used some music I had already. The only song that was done that's actually in the film was Betty Wright had sung over Strange Fruit that was made popular by Nina Simone. So we did that. But then I turned around, I got Stephen Marley, Bun B, I sent the joint while he was on the plane, he landed, and then cut the vocals, sent it right back to me. Spragga Benz, we got Nitty Scott, Bodega Bands, Black Thought and myself had another jam that we kind of had in the cut, but it was actually music that was in the film as well. So I was able to do that. And then starting June, I was like, no, it's Black Music Month. I'm outside. So then Joel Ortiz and myself was the first project. We have an EP called Box Talk. We actually had it done from last August. It's an example of saving stuff. And I was just like, yo, remember this feeling when somebody had a box outside, when you hear the music from half a block away, it just had a certain energy and tone from it. and it was stuff he taped off the radio.
Right.
So when he came through, I was like, yo, you know what? The song Shake That J-Lo on that project had a lot of samples and it was taking too long. I was like, I'm not putting this out in late August and then in September, October. Like, let's wait till it gets hot. So we was in March. Nah, we shot the video in March. We was done, ready to go, but it was like, it just wasn't right. So after Memorial Day, we did that. So we got Box Talk. That came out June 7th.
Okay.
Another video coming off that in the next couple of days. We got myself and Terrence Martin. You know, Terrence is an established musician, plays on the road with Herbie Hancock, and produced, you know, all these different things, you know, from Kendrick to, you know, a lot of stuff with Snoop and YG, and I would always see him in the studio like, yo man, I came in the studio back in the days with Sir Jinx. I'm like, at least I came in the studio back in the days, I'm looking at him like, who was with Jinx? He's like, yeah, I was with Jinx. We came in the studio back in, that was like 2000, maybe 90, 99, 2000, around then. But basically, he came down to the crib, which is really my creative hub. And we jammed for like hours, just on some musicians. He played drums and I played drums, and then we just switching instruments. And I was like, you know what? Let's just put the song out. And I was like, what are we gonna call it? He was like, yo, that Carrot Juice is crazy. Matter of fact, yeah, call it Carrot Juice. Right. So we ended up just, you know, kind of having a project that was there, and I was helping him a little bit with his drums project. So that's good. You know, I'm happy that was it. So that's, you know, got a little accolades on some jazz charts. And at the end of the day, it's all culture for me. And then this week I got Bodega Bams and myself. We got an EP called Bodega's Way. Same thing. Bams was in vacation, supposed to be in Miami. You know, he's like, this girl's pregnant. He's like, yo, I'm gonna just come out there for a couple of days. She's like, oh, babe, go by the pool for a second. But he's just dropping bars. Right. Like, yo, give me one more second. We got it real quick, so he just cut verses. And then we look back at it, and I was like, yo, we got a quick little 5-song right here. So I called it Bodega's Way, because I was like, you know, he's some kind of version of Scarface. Scarface, you know, all that energy. He gave me that Spanish Harlem Al Pacino, some kind of different way. So I was like, you know what? Let's just get ahead with this and do that. So that actually comes out this week. Okay. And then coming forward, you know, I have a lot of reggae. Me and Akon have a reggae EP that we did. Okay. So that's coming, and it's a lot more music. It's back to back. R&B sections coming up. I ain't really leaning on my R&B yet. Right. But just putting out a lot of stuff I really feel good about, and then we'll pull it back together. Some African music too, and even the Afro beats. Now it's more almost like fail out type live music in that area. But you know, in the summer we do it for the culture too as a playlist that you'll see all together. Gotcha. But it's really collage of just music that I want you to feel. It's authentic, it's real, it's the oxtail gravy on your rice and peas, so they drive. It's the proper barbecue sauce that make you don't want to give up and lick your fingers, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's that, you know, that mac and cheese, that tater salad. That's dope. That good shit.
Maybe there's good barbecue music. Good.
All that.
Good block party music.
Block party, barbecue. Like I said, we definitely rocking on summer, but I got your winter music too.
Okay.
I do that too.
Word. I didn't even know that Amy Winehouse and Nas joint came out. I Googled, you know what I mean? I went looking for it, and it was there, but I didn't even know.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, the thing is when, you know, I felt this way since Amy had passed. When you're doing posthumous music, sometimes it's like it's a little weird when you're going through how you promote it. You're going to do a video for it, and then it just didn't pan out right and didn't feel right. But it was just a thing where I just wanted to share it. Like, that's like what a day at my house sounds like. It's a bit of jazz, you know, Nas sitting down kicking it about life. That's part of our energy. You know what I'm saying? And seeing how that can kick in. Right. But you know, it was really Valentine's Day. It popped off on Valentine's Day, and then that was that. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Amy, there's a lot of misconceptions, even documentaries, everything. How was your relationship with her? Obviously I saw you in the doc, but for the record, I guess, you know, how was your relationship with her?
She was like my little sister.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, me and her I was a little sis. In general, you know, our relationship was music and friendship based. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was always like, what's going on, what you want to do, where you at. She'd just be calling me on Skype randomly. I'd be doing something. Yeah. Like whatever time, like, hey, so what you doing today? Yeah. Oh, okay, like, me hear that? Like, sometimes I'll be in a session and they can hear on the mic, like, I'm recording right now. What's up, though? Yeah. Hey, hi. Yeah, so what happened today, you know what I'm saying? It's just a homegirl. And that's kind of how her and Nas I actually started talking more. I'd be in the studio, and she'd just be calling my Skype anytime
Right.
she felt like it. Just
that's
hanging
crazy.
out, when she wasn't around me. But yeah, it's like my little sister. Because I met her at 18, the same way that I met Lauren Hill at 18. I met Jasmine Sullivan at 18.
Right.
Actually, Jasmine was like 14.
Wow.
But you know what I'm saying? I met a lot of people pretty young in their careers, and then their success grew after we knew each other. And that was, you know, being a part of their story rather than trying to arrive and claims and all that stuff. You know, I'm always about being a part of the foundation.
Right.
Helping people realize their potential, whether I'm involved or not.
Yeah, and that's amazing. I mean, I looked at all the people you work with and all the connections, and you just, I don't know, you're almost like a conduit, almost. Because you're not, obviously, you're not the most famous producer, but you're like, acclaim-wise, I can't really think of too many people that measure up, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just...
Definitely. I mean, I just think it's the position I play. When I create stuff, I don't create it for you to know I did it first.
Right.
I create it so that you feel the emotion I feel.
Yeah.
And you might not ever see me or know I exist.
Right.
You know, a lot of my friends don't know most of the records I've done. Like,
Yeah.
they wait a minute, you did this?
Yeah.
They have no idea. But once again, the purpose of the song isn't to go, I'm the producer, like me first. Like,
Right. Yeah.
if you heard somebody say my name on the record, I wasn't there when that happened. Because most of the time I take stuff like that out. And then now, you know, I've been doing things where I'm the artist, but it's mainly for the purpose of, you know, there's a Calvin Harris or there's a David Guetta on the house tip, or there's a Khaled being Khaled.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just looking at it the other way. For organic music that hits you in a certain space, that's my station, that's my energy. So once you go to me, now there are people that actually get their careers going because I'm able to help give them a stage to perform on. And the stage that I'm giving them isn't about me, it's about if you're nice at what you do, this is what it is. Let's go with it. Because I never try to make the biggest record, I try to make the realest one.
Yeah. Okay. What about your label? That's sort of the philosophy of the label, right? More organic and
youth culture, building stuff up from the bottom. You know, when I did my label deal with Sony, I've always done different stuff. But when I did my label deal with Sony, it was definitely spread it out. You know, I had a couple different branches. Remi Fa, which was my partner. Fatima was Remi and her name Fa. And Mac Wiles was signed in, a couple other people. And Mac was really about, you know, helping him find his voice. He was already famous. He was already an actor. Yeah. But I felt like there was something in him that people didn't know he could sing that well. Right. And then also while we would be linking up out in LA, while he was on set of 90210, we always would just talk about Dag. You know, we're trying to have some duck sauce right now. There's certain things as a New Yorker, like I grew up knowing and loving. Right. And it's like, Dag, we couldn't get there. So our first project was that. But then I also felt like there was a hole in the music where nobody was doing a particular thing. And at the end of the day, I just knew Eric Beats for president, going to the right heads in the right summertime. It's not going to stop. You know what I'm saying? It's just going to roll. So I was clear on what that is. And then I also had, like, you know, Flying Buddha, which is my jazzist label, which I put out a project, put out Liam Bailey, but I also put out Hiatus Coyote, which a lot of people love, like in a whole other space. And they're from Australia, you know, but I was able to help them, you know, establish their career. They had, you know, a couple of Grammy nominations and really helped build a strong following. And, you know, that was there. And then even Omi with the Cheerleader record, which is on my label Louder Than Life, you know, Omi, you know, has his producers, let's say people that had Shaba and Patra and all those people. And that's why I work with, you know, I got a 30-year relationship working with them. So he came and said, you got this artist and this record, cool. And then when other people in Sony got interested, I put it together. And that did, you know, a couple billion streams, which is great business. But it also was able to teach me a lot about how big things can be. And really just staying consistent to myself. I think if I stay consistent to me, I never have to dress up for the party.
How do you keep from being jaded? You know, a lot of producers or older artists, whatever, are, you know, complaining. It's died down a little bit. Right. But I think that's because we don't want to, you know, we don't want to seem negative to the youth. But I still hear the grumblings.
I think, you know, in general, you can't be mad at what somebody else does if you do what you want to do. It's like it's your house. You know, you got your house. A lot of people that be complaining don't live on their own.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying? Not older artists, but I'm just saying the youngers. Like well, because this and that and the third. All right, so you want that water bill too? And then this and that. When they got to pay all the bills, they be counting chicken wings. You know what I'm saying? Trying to figure it out. So I just feel like the balance in life is when you're able to say, well, this is how I want my situation, and I'm going to take full responsibility, win, lose, or draw, it's mine. And if you can't do that, then that's what it is. So rather than me complaining, I'm contributing, and contributing a lot. If you look at, you know, what happens in Atlanta them cats is pushing out projects, man.
Absolutely.
Gucci Mane came home and had like 5, 6 projects, like quick.
Yep.
It wasn't playing, and they was letting the music go. You know, a lot of the artists that I love, you know, will sit on albums for years because they're like, it ain't right yet.
Right.
Or the kids don't want to hear me, or they, you know, I heard, you know, some of my icons be like, I don't know, everybody's looking at that artist now.
Yeah.
They don't necessarily want to hear me, and I get it. Because if you're looking for light, but I'm not
Right.
looking for light. I'm just looking to keep it organic and be who I gotta be. Because, you know, if it's right, everybody gonna show up. And that's it. I'm playing a long game. That's what it comes down to.
Definitely.
And you know, if you continue to keep giving up good stuff, then what they gonna say? Well, you was off that day. That one didn't blow up. I'd rather you find a record and go, yo, this is really good. I can't believe I never heard this.
Right.
Then go, you just gave me a whole lot of trash real loud.
Right.
That happens more often than not.
Who have you not worked with that you want to work with?
That's hard to say. I mean, it's hard because, you know, it's the thing where they say don't meet your heroes.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just like, so I'll be standing back like, you know what, I'm going to just imagine what would happen if that's the case.
Right.
I want to do something with Slick Rick, which actually, he's like my favorite rapper.
Right.
But in that space, that's something I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, maybe make it happen. But my favorites, you know, Marvin Gaye and Dennis Brown and No Longer With Us, and you know, favorite songwriter Stevie Wonder. I don't know where that would land or if it can happen. But you know, it's always something that kind of hits you in a certain space.
Right.
And then I'm also looking for the next voice. You know, the way that I was able to continue to have a career that lasted, you know, 30-something years, is by finding the next person. Like, you know, it was dope. Miguel's first album and Jasmine's first album was 10 years ago.
Right.
There's somebody right now that's 18 that was 8 then.
Right.
So where we at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking at my god kids that was born in 2000. Oh, college who?
Right.
Like, you doing what? Oh yeah, I'm going to club college, 2000 now. That's like, you know, that's like where we at.
Right.
So I think it's just dope that, you know, I ask them what they think about records, but I also think that when you're young and you're really good, everybody's going to respect you. You know what I'm saying? When you got something that's nice, you be like, my generation's going to respect you. That's cool. But when you're really, really good, everybody's going to put hands down. You got this. You know what I'm saying? And that's the greatness. You know, people understand when they look at ball. They're like, oh, Jordan was this, Dr. J was that. But you can't really put Dr. J and Jordan in the same space, but you can say that without a Dr. J's influence, maybe there wouldn't be a Jordan.
True.
So that's where we're at. You know what I'm saying? I think we're still looking for the people who we will respect that are out of this generation that will continue to be like, you know what, he got a real head on his shoulders. He got something to say, and he's representing and you know, doing his craft well.
Okay. Now, one thing I complain about a lot is that younger, not to focus on the young people, but there's nobody plays instruments anymore. Nobody, the musicianship, we don't sample, so we don't even really learn too much about musicianship. Like I feel like when you know, the cats that came up in the 70s, 80s, and into the 90s, you were looking back to records and things like that. Even looking back at old music is different now.
You had a perspective, right?
Yeah. So, how do you feel at the state of producing now and the art of it all?
Well, it's similar to what I think about auto-tune. You know, people say, well, I use auto-tune, that's the vibe I'm on. You know, the thing is that I look at auto-tune as for no correction, not no selection.
Right.
So some people will put an auto-tune on in a certain key, and then everything they sing in the key is only the keys that are available.
Right.
But then there's something that your soul is speaking that's in between the lines. There's certain ways you're going to slide it that you'll never get with the machine filtering your thoughts.
Right.
So that's like, can you only draw what you can draw on the screen or on the iPad? Now, sometimes you need that paper, that pen, that spray paint.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That paint actually to get the picture away. So I feel the same way about production. When everything that you're able to make is only coming out of the machine, the machines learned a version of you, then you ain't really able to do your full potential because you're stuck within that space.
Right.
So it's the same thing. You know, the instruments are what they are, the thought process is what it is. You know, even down to mixes. If everything sounds the same, after a while, you don't even hear what happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's just like, you know what? Whoever figures out that it's another level. You know, the fact that Timbaland was in the 90s and he had the bop of, you know, the bankhead bouncing, you know, the southern bop and everything happening. But Timbaland's sonics would change every record.
Yeah.
You know, the engineers that he was working with, and then also what he had in his own head was so different that he was using a machine that everybody didn't use. But when you got the same 5 machines and snap, everything's gonna sound the same after a minute. You know, same computer, same plugins. But it's a brand new thought out of the same machine. Not that you can't flip it, but you have to flip how you approach it. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And you know, even when we have new conversation, of course, there's nothing new under the sun, but we want to feel like we heard somebody say the same thing with a new lens.
Right.
So that's when we get our greats. They looked at the same way that we were living our life, what made you rethink the words you use to describe it. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same way. The music, I want to feel like this, but something else you played actually reminded me of. You know what I'm saying? That new lens. And that's the beauty of it. And that's what I'm looking forward to. I feel like there's somebody else out here that has it, but they maybe don't have the opportunity or the place to go to. So whether they're the next Bob Marley or Lauryn Hill or Nas, whatever it is, I'm always listening because sometimes I seen an artist too recently. I'm like, yo, you got that fire. Yeah. But it's whether or not they're able to adjust themselves to be able to step up. So.
Now, are you a part of this Nas Lost Tapes too? Do you have songs on there?
I don't know. I don't think, as of today, I don't think any of the songs that we have together actually are on there because he has so much stuff. A lot of times the songs I make, sometimes they sound a little bit, not to say bigger, but I'll be making records, I'll be going over there. The song we was looking at putting there, it's kind of like, you know what, this one, that might need a whole nother moment. So the Lost Tapes too, from what I know, is just, it's right, it's doing what he does. Yeah. But I don't know if any of the songs I have on there.
Okay, all right.
But he got so many songs.
But y'all have more songs out there that y'all done.
Oh yeah, all the time.
About how many?
Dozens. 50, 60, 70 probably. You know, I mean, I was working
50, 60, 70.
I was working on albums with him since 2001.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't put out anything.
Yeah.
You know, when we were doing albums, we would do 25 songs I did for Godson for 5 to 6 to be on the record.
Yeah.
But in general, you know, the thing with Nas is that he writes truths, so they last. You know what I'm saying? So the buck that bought the bottle struck the lotto is still true. Yeah. Like he just says stuff that you might not understand. Like if somebody really listens back to Street's Disciple, to some of the things that he's talking about, you know, Street's Disciple and 444 are comparable. Yeah. Because the level of maturity and having a child and how you're gonna deal with it, and in the face of everything else, Jay kind of took it to another level as his grown man rap. But then Street's Disciple have a lot of that same stuff at 30. Right. Yeah. It's just a different perspective.
Well, that's how I kind of felt about Life Is Good. I mean, same chamber.
Yeah, same chamber was definitely as that, and you know that was the influence of going through stuff.
Yeah.
When you really at a point where you're accepting your plots that you have in society as a man, not just your own personal life. Like, what do you really want to say? You know, certain things that my dad would be like, yo, why should you put in records? You know, you got to be responsible. I'm like, all right, Dad, but it's real. This is what they really going through. You know, my whole label went to jail. Big up Ross T, big up Ballhead and CeeLo. Right. Big up, like, everybody's like in, like, that wasn't it. Yeah. Then now at my age, you know, I'm 47, I had a chance to look, I'm like, yeah, I probably wouldn't say that. Right. I got to kid your bands. I need you to say a line on it. Right. That right there, I love the fact that you say whatever you feel like it. Yeah. That right there, yeah, I feel you. Right. Cool. Just tone it down a little, but I still want to be wild, you know. I want to do the here. Actually, the Bodega bands, Bodega's Rain EP is probably some of the hardest music I made. Okay. So it's like it's real ignorant slap upside your head. Right. It sounds like a razor blade. It sounds like the cutting guy across the face. It really feels like that. Yeah. But I'm happy that I also have the knowledge now. You know, big homie gonna be like, yo,
of course.
I get what you're doing, homeboy. Check them, but don't check them like that.
Right. We had a convo with a rapper. He wasn't black. He kept using the N-word. I was like, yo, let me just talk to you real quick. Probably don't want to do that. It ain't gonna work out for you in the long run. It might be cool right now, but in the long run, it ain't gonna work. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So we do that. That's what we do now.
Yeah. Now, it's just kind of funny though. One thing with the N-word is weird, because growing up in New York, Puerto Rican and black, it's almost like it's one space. Yeah. So things that go over between Puerto Ricans and blacks here do not go over between black people and Mexicans on the West Coast. Right. Or people from other cultures. Like, you know, hip hop is still made as the Bronx was burning. Yeah. Salsa was on one side of the party and hip hop was on the other side. So it was almost like a weird thing where I kind of look. So I'm kind of used to certain things, but then again, you also know how you're hearing it. You know how when you hear something, if somebody say something, you just look like, you know, like dude said bitch, but you know you said bitch a little bit. It's got a little sharp right there. You might not want to say that one.
Right.
She gonna say, yeah, I'm a bad bitch. But then you call her a bitch. Like, who you call a bitch? Though?
Right.
I'm not that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's always that balance. But once again, it's knowing how much Scotch bonus to put in.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
how much energy to keep on it. Because, you know, it's culture.
Right. Now, something that's always been vague to me is what your role in the Fugees was. I never fully understood it. Can you explain that?
It's funny, I did something with Angie Martinez recently. She said Wyclef had called me the fourth Fuji, which is weird. I wasn't fourth Fuji, but I understand why he said it. So I met the Fugees in 1993. They already had their album out, Underground Reality.
Right.
They had a song out, Booth Bath. And Jeff Burrows, who's no industry vet, was their product manager. So he hit me like, yo, I got this group, I see what you're doing with the reggae acts, can you do something to maybe help them, you know, I need something that can rock that Mega Band and that Soundboy Killing, that can rock on the radio. You know, they're talented was there. So I looked at them, and cool, I met with them. I already knew their manager, David Sonnenberg and Bernard Alexander. He'd actually sent me Andy Kamoji, so I was familiar with the team. And then when I met with them, I basically made the Nappy Heads remix. The Nappy Heads remix and the original Nappy Heads song have nothing to do with each other. But it was a brand new record, and Nappy Heads was the single, so I'm like, I'm coming in fresh.
Right.
So I got in with them, and you know, I just told Clef they were doing that grimy style that was more Onyx-ish. You know, hip hop changed from year to year. Grimy was over.
Right.
Now something else, but I said, yo, I took the basis of that beat, and I played It Ain't Hard to Tell, and J. Rule's Come Clean acapellas over it.
Okay.
And I was like, this is where you need to go. So when he turned around and was able to hear what I was telling him to do, Clef wrote his rhyme, Lauren wrote her rhymes, Prize had his piece, and then we created a new studio. In the studio, we created a new song altogether. So in the song, that ended up becoming their first hit. Because it did well in the Northeast, it did certain stuff. Cool. Then we did, okay, yo, Lauren, we need you to remix Vocab off the album. So I did my version of Vocab. Their version of Vocab actually came out better for them in certain ways. So that was the one that had the video to it. But my version created the BDB, Dobo, and all that other stuff that was in the record. And then I was working on the film Clockers, and we cut another song called Project Heads that never came out. So it's the Winehouse Fugees record. And then during that session, I had the original beat for Fujila. I had made it for Fat Joe. And then, as long as I play the Fat Joe beat, Clef jumps up. We used to be number 10. But during those sessions, it shaped their knowledge of how they could be work, and how they could work, and how their talent could actually work for the audience. So I feel like Nappy Heads, Vocab, Fujila was like their artist development. Now when they went in and created the score, it was there. And they originally asked me to produce the score along with them. But I was like, I listened to what they had, and I was like, you know what? Y'all do this yourself. And at that time, Q-Tip had just mixed Mobb Deep's album. So I was kind of like, you know what? Y'all do the album yourself. And if anything, I'll come in and help you. Just bring it to me, and I'll listen to it and tell you if I hear something. And that's basically what it was. I gave them the idea for Killing Me Softly. Prize said, what would you do it like? I was like, Bonita Applebum. That's the same thing I think. I hung up. I really sample Bonita Applebum. But at the end of the day, I served as more of a mentor to the group. And then even when they were working on their separate projects, doing stuff later, even to this day, you know, they'll still come and play me stuff. You know, I'm still here. With Lauren might be working on different points, or you know, here with Clef. You know, I spoke to Clef this week. We're trying to do maybe a couple things this year. But I always keep my goal is to keep great relationships with artists that I've worked with, because in the long run, differently than companies and politics, it's always going to be about us being able to get in the room and make some magic.
But it's not a lot of in between for me. It's very few like cool out rap, or just, you know, or you really want to hear the artist saying something prolific. You know what I'm saying? Like, so for example, Prodigy, Mobb Deep is a hardcore rap group. But they also were prolific. You know what I'm saying?
It's a balance. You know what happened to me? I think part of it is where the music had to develop. So we have two different things. We had the emo rap, and then you had turn-up rap.
Right.
Turn-up rap had to develop on the stage where if it was 10 people in here, I just had to say what we say. They make you feel like I want to hop on one foot for half an hour.
Right.
That's one element of it. And then my flow was a hit and it's not. So there's certain aspects of that. And then you had emo, nobody likes me, I'm in my bad mood, I'm about to cry. You know, with the saddest music ever. And those people related to that. So it was like the depressed ones and the ones who are going to go outside.
Right.
Inside rap, outside rap.
Right.
What's missing is I'm just chilling rap.
Yeah.
So basically, we come from an aspect of I'm just chilling rap. Yo, we on the block, we talking about something in a different way, and you know, every time I hear the A Boogie song, look back at it, I like it because it has chord changes and it sounds like it would have been an R&B, not even a song, but an interlude.
Right.
Like it doesn't really drop into it, but I like the fact that it's a little bit of musicality into it. And then you hear A Boogie doing what he does because I'm like, well, you a rapper, you singing, like he's just doing what it is. So I think. In the long run, you know, the more that there are young musicians that understand both sides of it, and the more that there are producers who can help people shape different records. Like somebody will come around me and then lay down a vocal, then I might change the whole track, depending on what the vocal is, or they might be stuck on that track, or just keep pushing till we get something. I think what we heard was just more of a unity between the musician and that, and then also a lot of the rappers that we had, like 90s, really took on the jazz. So Nas, Dad was a jazz musician, but he also played trumpet. Rakim played sax. You know, if you talked to Rakim about Coltrane, he might tell you something else. Like there was an understanding of music. You know, and some Biggie stuff. He was around a dude named Donald, I think it was Harrison maybe, who was in Brooklyn, who understood another level. So understand that Biggie had somebody, a musician, showing him about music before he got to that point. 50 being around Jam Master Jay. You know, 50 is probably one of the best writers that we've had in a long time. You know, he could troll you too, but at the end of the day, 50 could take a beat that was like, it was cool, the Hospital, the UMCs did it, but he made Magic Stick that also made you can condoms out of it. At the end of the day, when he's on, you can't stop him because he knows what to do. That's whether or not he's focused on that. Now he's focused on TV and other stuff, that's good. They're just stories, live in other mediums, but it's always, you know, you can have good writers. You know, the blessing for me is that I've had people with great voices and great pens, and I help their pens get better. You know what I'm saying? So Nas was always a great writer. He came in as that. Marvin's a great writer. Amy's a great writer. Jasmine Sullivan's a great writer. Miguel's a great writer. Like they all got something to say in a unique way of saying it. So it allows me to be abstract with the music and actually give you a different vibe because you still said what you said. You ain't changing your mind.
Right.
The music went to a different space.
What haven't you accomplished that you still want to get?
Woo! Haven't I accomplished? I just think it's more life stuff, you know what I'm saying? At this point, I've spent most of my life in the studio. Since I was a kid, you know. I signed the ASCAP at 14, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, when I was headed to 40, I was like, all right, I want to go be in the builder, I want to be an executive. And I did that for some years, and I understood a lot on that level that's now helping me back as a creative and an independent record label owner. Yeah, I just probably, you know, I'm looking forward to the next few years because then I'm only going to show up when it's good. And if it ain't good, I'm out. Like, right there. I feel like you know, people feel a lot of different ways, but the music gonna last longer than your feelings. So I'm just trying to, you know, put up what it is. You know, just like a Charlemagne could go from being a troll into being a mental health and presidential advocate. He decided to put that energy out there, and that's what some people might know him for that don't know him for trolling. Well, cool. I'm just here for good music and stuff that feels very strong, very black, very black, and black music that you really feel like a black hand pushed the thumb on it. And when I say that, it's only for the purpose that you feel like it's from the original strain. You don't feel like it's a copy of a strain from somewhere. And that's just where I'm at. I'm digging into my own inner being to kind of push out some music that if you don't hear it and want to push somebody, you know, Rebel Without a Pause, to this day, I might elbow you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just what it is. But I saw that in Latin Quarter. I saw everybody going, brothers and sisters, man. Like, but that's my time. I was, you know, 14, 15, 16, looking at that. I need to feel that energy. I want that urgency. Henry D, before he passed, when he heard the record that Nas and I did, Nasty, he was like, yo, how do you still get it? You know, I tried to, how do you still get it to sound like when we were there?
Right.
And I don't know. I just keep turning the knob till I feel a little bit ignorant.
Right.
The way I might have been at that time.
Right.
Like, you know, I was a nice kid, but let me outside at the wrong time.
Right.
Yeah, we was going wild out. So at the end of the day, I needed that energy from the music that felt like a release. The same thing that rock and roll had, the same thing that hip hop has, the same thing that the blues had. You know, when they was doing those blues dances, they was being nasty. It was like reggaeton. They was like, yo, I'm gonna whine on her, she gonna come over here. Like Nas' dad showed me that when we doing the Bridge of the Gap. It's like, shook-a-boom. This is all about, come over here, let's dance. Shook-a-boom. They try to shook-a-boom on the dance floor, but shook-a-boom after the dance floor too. Right. There was always something about it that was a little bit illegal.
Yeah, right.
That made it a little bit more fun.
Right.
But that's where the music is at. You know what I'm saying?
I wanted to talk to you about, I've been listening to a lot of songs on Spotify, and I'm noticing that the songs are literally 3 minutes and under. They're specifically making them shorter so they can stream them over more.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that specific issue? Because I feel like we're losing half a song sometimes, or another verse, or a great collaboration, and we're also losing, I feel, some of the, musicianship that's at the end of the song, or in the middle, or it's a break or a bridge or whatever.
I think a couple things. One is the majority of music is being created via email or a track or a piece. So if you send somebody a beat and you send them a 5 or 9 minute beat, they're gonna be so annoyed by the time they get to your third one. You better just send them an idea piece. And a lot of times the idea piece be like 1.5 minutes.
Okay.
2 minutes, if that. So by the time somebody writes to it, they extend it a little bit, but it just depends on what they got to say. If there's a story really rolling, or if the piece of music actually can play for that long.
Yeah.
Sometimes they be like, yo, I got this song on repeat. That's a 5-minute song or a 2-minute song. Recently I put out some stuff that was kind of short, and I remember the reggae producer Dave Kelly said to me like in 2000, why are you making the song so long? They only gonna play 1.5 minutes up to the second chorus anyway.
Right.
Just give them that and then keep it moving. Then if you want to, then go back and extend it. But it's just the form of expression, and if you got it in you.
Yeah.
Sometimes the machine that you were making it on got tired.
Right.
Sometimes the person that was there just didn't have nothing else to say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or sometimes it's like making a suite where you got 2 or 3 songs that connect together.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, the musicianship and the songwriting gotta come back. And if you got more to say, then it should be there.
Okay. Anything else you want to impart upon the people?
It's just all about this culture, man. At the end of the day, the culture has created almost every aspect of fashion, every aspect of music, every aspect of art in the world, civilization. So I'm just, black man pushing black man culture.
Word. Appreciate that. Salute. Yeah.